don't you sit down?
I cannot allow myself to do so in your presence.
But if I were to command you?
Then I would obey.
Sit down, then. But first, can you get me something to drink?
I don't know what's in the icebox. Nothing but beer, probably.
Is beer nothing? I have simple tastes. In fact, I prefer it to wine.
Allow me?
Won't you drink too?
I'm not much of a beer drinker, but if Miss Julie commands.
Commands. I should think a polite cavalier might join his lady.
Looking at it in that way, you're quite right.
Now, give me a toast to my health. Old as he is, I believe the man is bashful.
To my mistress's health.
Bravo. Now, finish things off properly and kiss my shoe. Splendid. You should have been an actor.
This mustn't go any further, Miss Julie. What if someone should come in and see us?
Yeah, what harm would that do?
It would give them occasion to gossip. If you only knew how their tongues wagged just now, then...
What did they say? Tell me.
I don't wish to hurt you, but they used an expression, threw hints of a certain kind. But you're not a child. You can understand. When one sees a lady drinking alone with a man, let alone a servant, at night, then...
Then what? And for that matter, we are not alone. Kristiaan is here.
Sleeping? Yes.
Then I shall wake her. Kristiaan, are you asleep? Kristiaan! She certainly can sleep. Won't you wake up?
Don't disturb her.
What?
Anyone who has stood over the hot stove all day long has the right to be tired when night comes. One should respect the weary.
That's a kind thought. And I honor it. Thanks for the suggestion. Come out with me now and pick some lilac.
With you?
With me.
But that wouldn't do. Decidedly not.
I don't understand you. Is it possible that you fancy that I...
Not I, but people.
What? That I'm in love with my servant?
I'm not presumptuous, but we have seen instances. Nothing is sacred to these people.
I do believe you're an aristocrat.
Yes, I am.
But I step down.
Don't step down, Miss Julie. Take my advice. No one would believe that you stepped down of your own accord. People will always say that you fell.
I think better of the people than you do. Come and try them. Come.
You know, you're quite strange.
Perhaps. But you are too. Everything is strange, for that matter. Life, people, everything. Everything is wreckage that drifts over the water until it sinks. Sinks. I have the same dream every now and then. I'm reminded of it now. I find myself seated at the top of a high pillar, and I see no possible way to get down. I grow dizzy when I look down, but down I must, though I'm not brave enough to jump. I cannot stay where I am, and I long to fall, but I don't fall. Yet I can find no rest or peace until I come down to earth. And if I came down to earth, I would wish to bury myself in the ground. Have you ever felt anything like that?
No. I usually dream that I'm lying in a dark wood under a tall tree. I want to climb up to the top where I can look far over the bright landscape where the sun is shining. I climb to plunder the birds' nests up there where the golden eggs lie. But the tree trunk is so thick, so smooth, and the first limb is so high, but I know if I reach the first limb, I should climb as though on a ladder to the top. I haven't reached it yet, but I shall reach it one day. If only in a dream.
Here I stand talking about dreams with you. Come now. Just out in the park.
Perhaps if we sleep on 9 midsummer flowers tonight, Miss Julie, our dreams will come true. Do you think it's possible for us to remain here any longer?
No, I don't. But what can we do?
Fly! Travel! Far from here.
Travel. Yes, but where?
To Switzerland. To the Italian lakes. Have you ever been there?
No. Is it beautiful there?
Eternal summer. Oranges, trees, laurels.
But what would we do there?
I'll open a hotel. First-class service for first-class patrons.
Hotel?
That's the life. Believe you me. A never-ending stream of new faces, new languages. No time for worry or nerves. No wondering what to do when there's always work to be done. Bells ringing day and night, buses coming and going, and all the while, money rolling in the till. That's the life.
Well, yes, that's the life. And I?
Well, the mistress of the establishment. The jewel of the house. With your looks and your manners, oh, we've got it made. You could sit like a queen in your office and set your servants in motion at the touch of a bell. The guests could line up before your throne and humbly lay their tributes on your desk. You won't believe how people tremble when they get their bills. I'll salt the bills, and you can sweeten them with your bewitching smile. Let us get away from here. Immediately on the next train. We can be at Malmo at 6:30, Hamburg at 8:40 tomorrow morning, Frankfurt the day after, and at Como by the Gotthard Pass in about, 3 days. Yes, 3 days.
All that is well enough, but John, you must give me courage. Take me in your arms and tell me that you love me.
I will. But I daren't. Not in this house. Not again. I love you. Of course I do. You don't doubt that, do you, Miss Julie?
Miss? Call me Julie. Just Julie. There can be no more formality between us. Call me Julie.
I can't. There must be formality between us so long as we remain in this house. There is the memory of the past, and there is the Count, your father. I have never known anyone else for whom I have such respect. I need only to see his gloves lying in a chair to feel my own insignificance. I have only to hear his bell, and I start like a frightened horse. And now, when I see his boots standing there, high and mighty, it sends a shiver down my spine. Superstitions and prejudices taught in childhood cannot be uprooted in a moment. Let us go to another country, so long as it's a republic where people will bow down before my coachman's liver, but I shall not. I am not born to bow and scrape, for there's something in me. I've got character. Just let me get a hold of the first limb and you'll soon see me climb. I'm a coachman today, but next year I shall be a landed gentleman. Then I'll go to Romania where I'll be a proprietor in 2 years, and then I'll let them decorate me. Why, I might, mind you, end up a count.
Gently does it.
Oh, in Romania, one can buy a title, so you can be a countess just the same. My countess.
What do I care for all that? That's what I'm leaving behind. Say that you love me. Else what am I without it?
I'll say it 1,000 times. Afterwards, but not here. Above all, let us have no scenes of sentimentality now, or everything will fall through. We must look at this matter coldly, like sensible people. And now, you sit here, and I'll sit here, and we'll talk as if nothing has happened.
Oh my God. Have you no feeling?
No one living has more feeling than I. But I can restrain myself.
A moment ago, you could kiss my shoe, and now...
That was then. Now we have other things to worry about.
Don't speak harshly to me.
Not harshly, just sensibly. One folly has already been committed. Commit no more. The Count could be here at any moment, and before he comes, our fate must be decided. How do you like my plans for the future? Do you approve of them?
They seem sensible enough to me. But I have one question. Such a great undertaking will require a lot of capital. Have you got it?
Sure. I have my professional expertise, my vast experience, my knowledge of different languages. That is capital that counts, I should say.
But that won't even buy you a railway ticket.
That's true. And for that reason, I'm looking for a backer who can advance the funds.
And where will you find one in such a hurry?
That's up to you, if you wish to be my companion.
I can't, as I have nothing myself.
Then we can forget the whole thing.
And?
Things will remain as they are.
Do you think I could remain under this roof after... Do you think I will allow the people to point at me in scorn? Or that I can ever look my father in the face again? Never! Take me away from here, from this shame and dishonor. Oh, what have I done? Oh my God. What have I done?
So that's your tune now? What have you done? The same as many before you.
And now you despise me. I'm falling. I am falling.
Fall down to my level, and I'll lift you up again.
What strange power drew me to you? Was it the lure of the weak to the strong? Or of someone falling to someone rising? Or was it love? Is this love? Do you even know what love is?
I? Yes. Do you think that was my first time?
You say and think such awful things.
I am what life has made me. Don't be nervous and play the high and mighty. We're birds of a feather now. What shall we do then?
We must get away from here.
Torture each other to death?
No. To enjoy. A few days, a week, as long as we can. And then to die.
Die? How silly. I think it's better to open a hotel.
By Lake Como, where the sun is always shining, where the laurel is green at Christmas and the oranges glow like fire.
Lake Como is a rain hole. I never saw any oranges there except on fruit stands, but it's a good spot for tourists, full of villas to rent to loving couples. That's a paying industry. You know why? They take leases for 6 months, but usually leave after 3 weeks.
Why only 3 weeks?
Why? They quarrel, of course, but the rent must be paid all the same. Meanwhile, you can lease it out again, and so it goes on over and over again. You can always bank on love, even though it never lasts very long.
Then you don't want to die with me?
I don't want to die at all. Both because I enjoy living and because I regard suicide as a crime to him who has given us life.
You believe in God?
Yes, of course I do. And I go to church every other Sunday. Frankly, I'm fed up with this. I'm going to bed.
Do you think I would allow myself to be satisfied with such an ending? Do you know what a man owes to a woman he dishonored?
Allow me. Wouldn't want to owe anything to anybody.
Do you know what the law demands?
I know that the law demands nothing of a woman who seduces a man.
Do you say any way out of this but for us to leave, get married, and then part ways?
And if I refuse to enter this misalliance?
Misalliance.
Yes, for me. For you see, I have finer ancestry than you. Remember? There are no arsonists in my family.
How do you know?
You can't prove the contrary. We have no family record except that which the police keep, but your pedigree I have read in a book on the drawing room table. Do you know who the founder of your family was? It was a miller who let the king spend the night with his wife during the Danish War. Such ancestry I have not.
This is my reward for opening my heart to a wretch like you, for sacrificing my family's honor.
Dishonor. I told you not to drink, because then one talks too freely. One should never talk so freely.
Oh, how I repent all of this. If at least you loved me.
For the last time. What do you want from me? Shall I weep? Shall I jump over your riding whip? Shall I kiss you? Lure you to Lake Como for 3 weeks and then... What do you want anyway? This is getting tiresome, but I suppose that's the way it always is when you get mixed up in women's affairs. Miss Julie, I can see that you are miserable. I know that you suffer, but I simply can't understand you. Among my kind, there's no nonsense of this sort. We love as we play when work gives us time. We're having the whole day and night for it like you.
Be kind to me, John. Speak to me as though I were a human being.
Then behave like one. You spit on me and expect me to stand it.
Help me! Help me! Only tell me what to do. Show me a way out of this.
In heaven's name, if only I knew myself.
I have been raving. I have been mad. But is there no means of deliverance?
Stay here, at home, and say nothing. No one knows.
Impossible. The servants know. And Kristiaan?
They don't know it, not for sure. They could never suspect such a thing.
But it might happen again.
That is true.
And the consequences?
Consequences. Where were my wits not to have thought of that? There's only one thing to do. Get away from here immediately. I can't go with you or they will suspect. You must go alone, away from here, anywhere.
Alone? Where? I cannot.
You must. And before the Count returns, if you stay, we know how it will be. If one has taken a false step, it's likely to happen again, as the harm has already been done, and one grows more and more daring until at last, all is discovered. Write the Count afterward and confess all, except that it was me. That he could never guess, and I don't think he'll be so anxious to know who it was anyway.
I will only go if you'll go with me.
Are you mad? Miss Julie running away with her coachman? All the papers will be full of it, and the Count could never live through that.
I can't go. I can't stay. Help me. I'm so tired. So weary. Command me. set me in motion. I can't think anymore. I can't act.
See now? What pathetic creatures you aristocrats are. Why do you puff yourselves up and stick your noses in the air as if you were the lords of creation? Very well. I will command you. Go upstairs, get yourself dressed, and see to it that you have traveling money. Then come back down. Go immediately.
Speak kindly to me, John.
A command always sounds unkind. Now you know what they sound like.